The first Thomas the Tank Engine television adaptation aired live on the BBC in 1953. During the broadcast, a model train derailed, and a crew member's hand reportedly entered the picture to put it back on. Author Wilbert Awdry was furious. The planned second episode vanished from the schedule, and no recording of the first is known to survive. Thomas began on television with a mistake viewers can now only reconstruct from written evidence. Awdry began publishing the Railway series in the 1940s, developing locomotives with personalities governed by real railway rules. The stories were concise, moral without being abstract, and illustrated with enough mechanical specificity that young readers could treat the island of Sodor as a working system. By 1953, the BBC saw an opportunity to bring that popularity to children's television. The challenge was translating painted illustrations and narrated prose into moving models on a live studio schedule. Correspondence shows the BBC arranged rights to adapt material from the first book, with broadcasts planned for June 14 and June 28. The first program combined the sad story of Henry with related material to fill approximately 10 minutes. Director Douglas Mayer chose model locomotives and a layout rather than drawn animation. Meccano supplied Hornby Dublo equipment, and models were modified to resemble the illustrated engines. The budget and preparation time were limited, but live children's television regularly attempted complicated effects under similar constraints. The production needed engines to stop at exact marks, pull trains, enter a tunnel, and coordinate with narration, music, and superimposed effects. A faulty coupling caused trouble during rehearsal. On air, Henry left the rails, reportedly while moving away from camera. Someone had to reach down and reset the model. Later, Edward's model failed, and James was substituted. Julia Lang had to keep the story moving, while the physical system broke its cues. Unlike a later filmed model series, the BBC could not cut around a mistake or repeat the shot. Awdry was protective of mechanical credibility. He had already objected to model choices and wanted the television engines to reflect the books. The derailment, visible hand, jerky movement, and freely adapted script confirmed his fears. He wrote to the BBC demanding professional standards for any continuation. Newspapers amplified the dispute, turning a children's program malfunction into a public embarrassment. Audience research may have been less hostile than the headlines, but the relationship with the author had deteriorated. The follow-up program was postponed and then abandoned. The BBC replaced it with another children's segment. There was no series, no chance to improve the model system, and no reason for the corporation to treat the failed experiment as future heritage. The project became a footnote, while the Railway series continued in print. Only in the late 1970s did producer Britt Allcroft begin developing the model animation format that reached television in 1984. British television in 1953 was not routinely recorded. Telerecording existed, but making a film copy required equipment, money, and a reason to preserve the program. No surviving paperwork confirms that this 10-minute children's broadcast was recorded, and no film has surfaced. That does not allow an absolute claim that a copy was never made. It supports the narrower conclusion. No authentic recording is known, and searches must rely on indirect evidence unless one appears. Fans have reconstructed the set, engine movement, narration, and famous derailment using models or animation. These projects make the production understandable, especially when surviving images are limited. They also create a risk. A clean recreation can circulate without its label and become the recovered pilot in a repost. Every reconstruction in this episode should carry a persistent on-screen marker. The goal is to show how the event may have looked, not to manufacture a discovery. The familiar Thomas and Friends series also used physical models, but filmed them shot by shot under controlled conditions. faces could be changed, derailments reset, and motion edited to narration. Detailed sets made the railway feel large, while the camera concealed operators. The difference was not simply better models, it was a production method designed around miniature limitations. The 1953 failure helped demonstrate why live operation was the wrong format for Awdry's precision. The BBC adaptation belonged to an era when a children's program could be rehearsed, performed for cameras, transmitted, and then disappear. Telerecording existed, but it was not an automatic preservation step for every short broadcast. The production used model locomotives and live operators under tight timing. When a train derailed, a hand entered the frame to reset it, an error viewers could see, but editors could not remove. Reverend W. Awdry's objections were therefore not only about one mistake, they reflected the risk of presenting his railway world through a system with no second take and little margin for mechanical failure. Program listings established the broadcast date. Production accounts and Awdry-related records describe the derailment and the canceled follow-up. Later histories identify the story, cast, and model setup. Those independent traces make the broadcast real, even though no complete recording is publicly known. Fan recreations can stage the described accident and help viewers understand the mechanics, but they should remain visibly labeled. The responsible conclusion is not that the episode has been found through reconstruction. It is that researchers know unusually much about a television event whose moving images are still lost. A second adaptation was scheduled after the sad story of Henry, but the response to the first production helped end the experiment. It is important not to describe that follow-up as another Lost Thomas episode unless evidence shows it was actually broadcast or recorded. Scripts, planning notes, or listings can survive for a program canceled before transmission. The distinction separates lost production material from lost footage. Both are historically interesting, but only one implies that moving images once reached viewers. No one can replay Henry leaving the rails in 1953. We know it happened because witnesses, correspondence, schedules, and press coverage overlap. That makes the three railway engines a lost program with an unusually vivid afterimage. Its failure shaped how people remembered it, and its lack of recording turned one visible hand into legend. The first Thomas television did not vanish because it was banned or hidden. It vanished because live television was built to happen once.